Daniel Johnson to speak to and move Amendment 6063.2.
Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. And let me begin, I think, by responding to, the call that was made by the Minister in his remarks about the scale and fundamental nature of this challenge, because he is absolutely correct. And I would put it along the following lines. I think economically and in terms of public policy, we face three great challenges right now. First of all, and most fundamentally, that of climate change. Secondly, in terms of adopting technology, automation and big data. And finally, population decline. And I think I would put all three of those things in the same category. But what I would say is that third topic, that third category, is probably the least explored. I think we know broadly what we need to do in terms of climate change. We know broadly what we need to do in terms of technology. But I don't think we've begun to explore what it means to have an ageing population. Because all three of these challenges, I think, do the same thing. They challenge us to rethink how we organise our economy. They challenge about what we need to deliver through our public services, but also how those public services should be organised. And indeed, I think they challenge actually the make-up and fundamental nature of our society and our community. So I share, I think, the sentiments of the Minister and in terms of the need for a genuine consensus to take forward this, because Scotland does have particular demographic challenges. We currently have a population of 5.5 million, but that has already started to decline, with a projected fall of 16% by 2072. And I think it is important to note some of the things that have already been acknowledged is that we have some particular features. And while Donald Cameron is right to point out that we have attracted a smaller share of inward migration, it has actually been more important to our population growth. So I think we have to challenge ourselves as to why that is. What are the underlying reasons? And some of them will be straightforward. We are a remote part of this country. We have a more dispersed population. But I think some of those points around fertility rates in particular, we do need to question. And I think the other thing I would like to emphasise is that this is not all bad news. I think the fact that we are living longer, we have greater control over our fertility, are good things. These are things that we are being more successful and giving people more control. But to the points in the motion, I think the point around immigration, I think, cannot be overstated. Brexit has caused a fundamental challenge to the primary source we had of inward migration, and we can't ignore that. But what I would say is that we're not alone, just a moment, we're not alone in facing the challenges we have in our labour market. So therefore, to blame Brexit alone, I think, misses the point. But it certainly makes it harder for us to deal with them. So what I would say is, and as the proponents of devolution, we absolutely support measures. And I welcome mention of Fresh Start in the motion. And indeed, I think we should have more control, because I didn't quite understand from Mr Cameron's statements why devolved immigration can't work, because lots of other countries do make it work. And as for someone committed to the devolution settlement, I believe that this place is best suited to understand what our labour requirements are and to have input and participation within an immigration system. And I'm happy to go away to Mr Whittle now.
Brian Whittle.
Very grateful for Daniel Johnson.